Woo! Good afternoon, everybody. It is Monday. It is 12 o'clock. It is time for Car Confessions. I come to you each and every week talking about some type of tip or tactic for either the buyer or the seller in the auto industry, as well as I interview entrepreneurs who are willing to come and chat, talk to us a little bit about what it is they do, why they do it, what drives them to do it, and what separates them from somebody that just punches a clock every day from 9 to 5. This week is episode number 26 of Car Confessions, and I've got a topic that is very near and dear to my heart. I've been in the auto industry for almost 2 years now, and to a certain extent, I'm still dealing with this on a weekly basis. Are you being nice guide? Are you being friend zoned? Are you such a nice guy that people just have to do business with you, but they never buy from you? This is what we'll be talking about today, and I'm going to give you 5 tips that will help reduce your chances of being nice guide or put in the friend zone, if you will. And a lot of you know what I'm talking about. So, as many of you know, I'm going through a journey trying to become an expert in my field and in my space, and I just don't feel like I've been gaining any traction. And it's taken a lot of self-reflection and really looking inward, which is tough because none of us want to accept responsibility. It's easier to blame somebody else, something else, and not look inwards on what we can control. We want to blame something else that's out of our control, and it's the environment, or it's the market. So it's not me. I'm doing everything right. It's something else. But I've been struggling over the last 2 years with doing this, and it really wasn't until the last few weeks I've really started looking inwards and trying to figure out what's going on. And I mention this because my whole career so far in the auto industry, people are telling me you're such a nice guy. You're the nicest guy we've met. We love talking to you because you're so nice. And a lot of those people that I'm hearing this from don't buy from me. They buy from somebody else. Very similar, if not the same product as I'm showing them, but buy from somebody else. And that got me thinking, why is that? And those of you that know me know that I'm really big on definitions. I want to know what a word means. I use a word every single day, every week, and I don't know what it means. So I wanted to look it up. So the meaning of the word nice as of the last 100 years is pleasant, agreeable, fine. Do you know where it originated from? It originated from Latin. And this will be ironic enough for you guys. In Latin, it means to not know, ignorant, stupid, foolish. And it started to change around 1300s when it was more for conduct or to describe a person, or a person that's wearing very luxurious, lavish clothes, lavish outfit. And then after the 1500s, it became used to describe a very refined person or refined society. And of course now it's used to describe, your behavior, your demeanor. Oh, he's such a nice guy. He's such a nice person, etc. So, now you hear people say there's a lot of pundits of no more Mr. Nice Guy, nice guys finish last, and in my research I found a lot of being compared, the nice guy, nice person, being compared to being put in the friend zone by a girl or a guy that you're pursuing or that you're interested in, and them telling you that you're just a really good friend. Now we've all been there. You know, you're really into this person, and you finally build up the courage to tell them, ask them out, and tell them just how you feel, and just pour your heart out. And they look at you. I just don't feel that way. You're such a nice guy. We can just be friends. Oh, isn't that some horse shit? Come on. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to be put in the friend zone, and nobody wants to be nice guy. So I've got 5 tips here that will help you overcome being a nice guy, being a nice girl, being put in the friend zone, whatever the case may be. So number 1, know your mission and your passion. To know your mission and your passion, you have to know your value. You have to know what you bring to the table. Excuse me. And it wasn't until a week ago when one of my mentors asked me, what's your value? Have you thought and figured that out? Do you know what you bring to the table compared to somebody else? What makes you different? I didn't have an answer. It took me just about a week to figure out my value, what I bring to the table, and get back to him. But you have to find your value. Now I know there's nobody else like me. I am an original. You are an original. There is never going to be anybody else on the face of this earth like you. That is your value. That is where you start with finding out your value. And for me, my value, I've developed all my life. When I was doing farm work, blue collar work, when I was in the Army, the 7 core values that is ingrained in anybody that's been in the Army. Now, again, I can only speak to the Army. That's the only branch I served in. But I have no doubt the other military branches have similar. What is your value? Mine stems around those 7 core values still today, all these years later. And that's what separates me from everybody else. Number 2, embrace the conflict. Now, this is not to be confused with confrontation and getting into fights or getting in the faces of somebody that doesn't agree with you, or you're trying to educate them on a vehicle and they say, no, that's not right. And you just get up in their face. Now what? So conflict, not to be confused with confrontation. This is not about being an asshole. This is about listening and embracing the conflict that the person that you're looking across from has. You have to ask the hard questions. And that is so difficult. I know, especially for me, it's been so difficult because, I'll sit down and talk with a customer and go talk to my manager, tell him what's going on. Well, did you ask him this? Did you ask him this? Did you ask him this? Well, no, I don't want to ask those. Those are hard questions. Those are uncomfortable. They don't feel right when you ask them, but they're part of the process. And they're part of the sales process that you sometimes have to ask those hard questions to get answers that you need and that to help that customer out. Moving on to number 3, make yourself a priority. Nobody else is going to make you a priority. You have to make yourself a priority. Nobody else is going to take care of you. Nobody else is going to do it for you. And along with that, you have to pay yourself first. And you're not going to be doing that by not building the value in, we're going to use a vehicle, for example, car salesman. So by not building the value enough in a vehicle to somebody, all they're going to be concerned about is the price. What's the price? How much are you going to take off? What about this? I want this fixed, and then we'll make a deal. By not addressing that conflict, not addressing yourself as a priority, you're going to give up all your money, all your paycheck, all of your gross, and now you can't pay yourself, you can't take care of your spouse, you can't take care of your kids, your car payment, your house payment, your credit cards, whatever the case may be, without making yourself a priority, paying yourself first. You can't do anything. You can't. I had a guy I was talking to I'm trying to locate a truck for him, and told him I'm looking, I'll find one. And he said, now I want you to make money on this. I said, I understand. I appreciate that. I said, we don't have thousands of dollars of markup in this. We have hundreds of dollars of markups in our vehicle. And he said, okay, but I don't want you to just make money. I want you to make good money. I want you to make great money, because if you don't make great money, when I go look for a truck next time, you're not going to be here. He said, I want you to make great money because I want to continue doing business with you. And y'all, that really hit home with me. That is the first person that has ever said anything like that to me. And I didn't know what to say, because thank you really just doesn't cover it. But somebody that understands, somebody that gets it, somebody that saw my value and what I bring to the table, he wants me to make money. Now, he doesn't want me to bend him over the barrel and just take advantage of him completely. He wants me to make good money, so I'm here next year, the year after that, 5 years down the road, still taking care of him. Number 4, learn to say no. This one I struggle with as well. I struggle with this daily, weekly. I'm getting better, because I would always say yes to everything because I would feel guilty to say no. I would feel guilty to not help out, not contribute. And it got to the point where I was saying yes to everything and contributing, that I was making it hard to pay my own bills, because my money is going everywhere else except for where it should be. And so that's hard, because you're giving your time, you're giving your energy, and potentially your sale, your money, to everybody except for you, by saying yes and not taking a minute, saying no, because you have to make yourself a priority. You have to pay yourself first. You have to make sure you're going to be here in the future. You're going to be here down the road. And number 5, what's holding you back? Are you listening to the customers? Are you actively listening to the customers? Or as they're talking, you already have in your mind what you're going to say, so you cut them off. You cut them off what they're saying, you interrupt them, and you don't know what they were going to say. You don't know what they were going to continue with, and you go off on a tangent, and you can see the frustration in the customer's face by not listening. And along with that, are you disagreeing with the customer, making them wrong? And y'all, I'm married. A lot of you know that. Been married for what year is this? I've been married for 6 years. Been together for 13 years. Feels like 20 something years. That's not bad, babe. I love you. But I have learned, everybody teaches you or tells you happy wife, happy life. Yeah. But what about the other person? But I've learned and still working on, if you argue by agreeing with that person, if I agree with my wife, the argument's over. Now, I don't have to come to her side. I just have to agree that what she's trying to explain to me from her point of view is right. It is correct. Now, there's times where she's wrong. Shh, let's just keep that between us. I don't want that getting back to her, because baby, I love you. You're always right, no matter what. But by agreeing with them, you take away their argument and you take away the confrontation. But you just have to agree with them to understand what they're seeing, what their side is. And finally, on what's holding you back, are you stating your clear intention? Are you telling the customers, the buyers, whoever it is, are you telling them what you're wanting to get out of this? Are you telling them what you're going to do for them? And making sure they know exactly what you're going to do from the first part of the sale all through the last part of the sale, and then beyond the sale. When it comes to follow-up, when it comes to maintenance, when it comes to time to trade in. Are you clearly instating your intention so that you create transparency and you build that trust, you build that rapport with people? So there you have it, guys. Those are the 5 areas of whether or not you're being nice guide and put in the friend zone. Circle back around. Number 1, know your mission, know your passion. Number 2, embrace the conflict. That does not mean be an asshole about it and confrontational. Number 3, make yourself a priority. Pay yourself first. Know your value. Circles back to number 1. Number 4, learn to say no. I know that's hard to do, because by saying no, in your mind, you're potentially removing that person from a future sale. But you have to make yourself a priority so you're here in the future to continually serve them. And finally, number 5, what's holding you back? Are you listening? Are you disagreeing? Are you not stating your intentions clearly? Think about it, guys. And I'm still a work in progress. That's why I write this stuff down. I keep notes. I'm still working on this. I'm definitely not an expert yet. I am well on my way to be, thanks to a few people that are supporting me and making sure that I know my value, I know my passion, I know my mission, and to make sure I listen to people until they're done talking and not cut them off. So there you have it, guys. I hope that everybody's learned something. I hope that y'all can take something away from this and really put it into use and can really gain some traction with this. Now, whether that's being on the sales side, whether that's being on the buyer side, whether that's at home or just in everyday life at work. So drop some comments. Let me know what y'all think. I would love to hear what you guys think about this, whether you agree, disagree. Did I not go into enough detail to answer a question that you may have? Let me know. I would love to see some comments and just see what you guys are thinking and how this relates to you. I'm gonna drop this on YouTube, so you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, all at Matt Johnson Sells. You can email me at matt@mattjohnsonsells.com. mattjohnsonsells.com, as y'all know, is my website. I would love to hear from you guys, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon, seeing you next week. And just remember, you guys know me, Matty J, my car guy. Allow me to show y'all that there's a better way to buy. I look forward to seeing y'all next week. Take care. Be great.